Hey everyone, thanks for listening to the Grow Your Life podcast. My name's Jeremiah Krakowski. If you haven't yet, check out my new course, Social Media Ads That Work, where I walk you through step-by-step how to create ad campaigns that convert to profits, get more traffic to your website, and get more customers in your business. This is real money in the bank strategies that are working right now and what I've used for the last 13 years to build businesses to 7 and 8 figures using social media ads. If you're somebody that has a business, no matter what level you're at, whether you're starting out or successful already, this course is going to help you take your business to the next level. And I walk you through very simply how you can apply it no matter what level of business you are at. Nothing overwhelming, nothing complicated. You don't need a big budget. You just need to follow a few simple things to create social media ads that work. Now, on this podcast episode today, I'm going to talk about taking your ideas that you have and executing on them. And when you have a lot of ideas in your head, how to know which one is the right idea, how to know which path to take. When you are building a business, you may have 2, 3, 4 different, 5 different ideas. And you want to know, am I making the right choice? Am I making the choice that's going to be profitable for me? Am I making the choice that's going to help people? I want to start by saying this, and this is going to be a little bit polarizing at the beginning of this episode, is there's actually no such thing as making the wrong choice when it comes to choosing which things you should do first with your ideas. Now, there are wrong choices. There are things that you should avoid doing in your business. There are distracting things that you should avoid. Absolutely. And most of us actually know what those are. What I'm talking about is where you have a number of ideas and you don't know which one is the right one to do first, essentially saying that all the others but that one are wrong. But the truth is, all of these are really good ideas, right? They're good choices. And so you're stuck in a rock and a hard place, wondering, okay, which one should I do? And here's my little formula for that is pick the one that you can do now, the easiest. Pick the one that you can accomplish the quickest. Pick the one that you can roll out the fastest. When it comes to having a number of ideas, speed is key. It's important to get the momentum built to put something out there. Many times, this is what is stopping a lot of people from reaching the next level of their business, is they're not sure which choices to make, which decisions to take, and which ideas to put out there. Or maybe they're like, well, I don't know if there's a market for any of these ideas. If you don't know if there's a market for any of those ideas, that's an area that we need to dive deeper as to why did you come up with these ideas in the first place, okay? And I'm going to talk about that just a little bit. If you don't know if there's a market for your ideas, how did you come up with those ideas? Most people will usually say, because somebody told me that would be a good idea. Many times going based off of what somebody tells you is a good idea for a business that you should start probably oftentimes might not be, and you're actually going based on other people's opinions of what's a good idea versus what's actually going to serve your customers and build a business. Your goal in a business is to deliver value to a marketplace that is ready to buy. Okay? And so that's part of that. And if you're still struggling in that area, I'd love to talk with you. Hop on a phone call. This is what I coach a lot of people through in my coaching business. You can schedule 15 minutes with me just by going to my website, clicking the coaching button, and scheduling 15 minutes for us to hop on the phone and go over this together. But if you're somebody that's like, hey, I got 4, 5, 6 different good ideas. That's the type of person I want to talk to today, is somebody that has some ideas, that knows that they're all pretty good, that I should do all of them, but which one should I do first is generally the question. Or how do I marry, I do this over here, I do this over here, and I do this here. How do I bring it all together? I'm going to help cut through some of the confusion today, cut through some of the sticking points that are keeping you stuck from monetizing and making money in your business. Now, one of the number one things that stops people from monetizing and making money in their business is not getting enough traffic to their website, not getting enough eyeballs in front of what they are offering. And again, if you haven't checked it out, my course, Social Media Ads That Work, shows you how to get in front of more people, how to show up in front of more people to get results and make money in your business. And so that's going to solve that for you. But you have to build something, right? You have to actually start to create something to show in front of people. You're not going to be able to offer people something if you don't have anything to offer them. And so which one should we build? The worst thing that you can do is not build anything, not do anything, and hope that someday all the little pieces are going to line up and you're going to finally know which one's the right one to build. Or that other people are going to change their perspective or act differently to come alongside you to help collaborate with you to build this. If you need somebody to help collaborate with you, I do that with my coaching as well. I collaborate/coach with people as a form of consulting to help people. They have ideas knowing, okay, this is one that's profitable, and we go through and analyze this and come up with a plan that can be executed, a strategy that can create and produce results and revenue in their business. And so that's something that you're interested in. Check that out. Go register for that 15-minute call on my website for that. If you're wondering, which idea should I start? You got to start with one of them. Doing nothing and waiting to know which one to do is the worst choice you can make. And many times it's because we've experienced pain and punishment or fallen flat on our face by making the wrong choice, and we don't ever want that to happen again. I get it. It hurts. It was painful. But you're stronger than that. You have more tenacity than to allow what happened in your past to keep you stuck. You are an overcomer, and you are somebody that will rise above what happened. But for you to rise above, for you to rise up, you need to build up a little bit of momentum for yourself. And that's why I say start with the easiest idea, the one that you can execute on the fastest. Maybe you're like, well, all of them are going to take a long time. Okay. But maybe they have starting points, or maybe you can simplify one of those things, or maybe you're overanalyzing one of them. Could be starting to make videos on social media, could be creating your first course, could be writing, could be making content, could be launching a coaching program, could be prospecting, could be generating leads, any of those different things in your business. Think about which thing can have the most output, and then think about which one of those things is the easiest and fastest for you to execute. That's the one that you should do. That's how you can prioritize and then execute. And then while you're in the executing stage, don't distract yourself with these 4 other things. Set them aside. The worst thing that you can do while building this one thing, that thing that you're executing on, and I'm talking 2 to 4 weeks of execution here. The worst thing that you can do during that time is to focus on the next thing. Execute well on the one that you're doing. Execute well at it. Get really good at it. Maybe you're like, well, I just want to get to that place where I'm making money in my business. I just want to get to that place where I'm finally making that cash. Yeah, but you know what? You can't skip the steps of the process. And maybe up to this point in time in your life, you've been trying to skip steps of the process and skip points along the way on the path to your destiny. Has it worked out for you up to this point? I'd be willing to bet it hasn't. And that's why you're listening to this episode right now. And so let's try something different. Let's just open up to the possibility of, what if we did something different than we've ever done before? What if we actually took a step back just a little bit from that goal that we had and did the simple thing first, the thing that seems minuscule and even meaningless and might not leverage out to a big result? I hear this all the time with people. They got the big goal and they're not willing to do the small thing that's going to get them there. You got to humble yourself to start to take action, to start to make decisions, to start to do the things that are going to get you to the next level. And now that brings us back to our little spinning loop of, well, then which one of the things should I do? The one that's easiest for you to execute on right now, the fastest, that will take the least amount of time for you to put out there. If you're not making videos on social media, That takes 10 minutes. And yet I see people 6 months later, they still haven't put videos on social media. Because of whatever 1,000 reasons that they come up with that it's just not the right time for them, or they just don't feel comfortable doing that. We have to get past the beliefs that we have in our life that are keeping us stuck right where we are. If you're comfortable right where you are, turn this episode off. If you're comfortable staying right where you are and never progressing forward, do not listen to this podcast anymore. But I'm going to start to say some things that might make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You're going to have to become comfortable doing hard things. Because once you start doing them, they become easy. But they're hard when you stare them down the barrel and look at them and don't do anything. You're going to have to do things that scare the poop out of you. You're going to have to do things that absolutely terrify you. You're going to have to do things that are going to get you judged by other people. You're going to have to do things that might potentially make you look less smart, less like you have it all together. You might need to humble yourself just a little bit to get to the next level. It's worth it. It's always worth it in the end. But when we're constantly striving and saying, oh, that's below me. Oh, that level is, I'm above that. That's pride. And your pride is keeping you stuck right where you are because you care more about looking good or feeling good than you do about executing and getting results. Or maybe you say, no, I'm not prideful. I don't know what to do. That's because doing the right thing and the pride of knowing that you did the right thing is more important than executing. And the thought of possibly doing anything but the exact right thing is both terrifying and impossible, possibly to you. In fact, you might even think that it's wrong and horrible. If that's you, I'm here to say this is that doing nothing is the wrong thing. Doing something is always going to be the right thing when you're looking at 5 to 10 different things to do and you choose one of them. Now that we've chosen something, how do we build up the motivation to execute on it? I know a lot of people, they get started and then they fizzle out. They lose their focus. They lose their determination. They lose their consistency. They lose their ability to stay consistent and see it to fruition. Oftentimes this is because we get distracted by what's off in the distance. We get distracted by what's happening around us, our environmental influences. We get distracted by our feelings. And so we talk ourselves out of finishing what we started. If you're somebody that's doing that, that is why you need to, again, humble yourself. Come back to, what is that first thing that I said that I was going to do? What was that first thing I said I was going to execute on? And you have to make your execution be bigger than validating your self-worth. Your self-worth is not equal to what you can execute on or how well you can execute on it. It comes from within. It comes from believing in yourself and knowing that I have a plan and a purpose for my life and nobody can tell me otherwise. Whether I do the right or wrong thing, it does not affect my value. It does not affect how I view myself. And we show other people in the world around us how to view us by how we view ourselves. Maybe you're wondering when you're going to finally have the confidence to put your stuff out there to start marketing. You have to start with doing the loving thing and making the loving choice for yourself. Loving meaning what was going to care for yourself, self-care. What is the choice that is going to help you and serve you to get to the next level? So often we're relying on other people to finally activate us and give us permission to be who we were born to be. I give you permission today. You have permission to go to the next level, to get started, and to stay consistent. Now, what you have to do is, if you have a plan to execute on, you have a plan to take yourself, your business, your organization to the next level, now you have to make some commitments. I would recommend blocking out a period of time in your day to where that is your execution time, meaning you have an hour, 2 hours in the day set aside that you will accomplish this, that it's as important as any meeting, that it's as important as brushing your teeth, and that nothing can knock you off track from doing it. Until you do that, you're always going to come up with reasons to justify why you can't execute on the things that you say that you do. And that unfortunately develops a pattern and a habit of where we don't trust ourselves, where we don't keep the promises that we make to ourselves. And we're always constantly keeping promises to other people, but wondering why we can't seem to accomplish what we set out to do, and then wondering why things aren't getting done. You need to start to trust yourself enough by building a track record with yourself before anybody else. We show people how to perceive us by how we respect ourselves, love ourselves, and show and model how a powerful person acts. You are modeling to other people how to communicate with you, how to treat you, how to honor and respect your boundaries every single day. And that starts with keeping the promises that you make to yourself. I will spend time doing this every single day. And many times when I say that to people, they say, yeah, but there's so many things that come up throughout the day that keep me from doing those things that I promised to myself. And now I'm 6 months down the road and I still haven't done one of them. You're going to have to start to be honest with yourself in this, is that those things are more important to you than executing on this. That's the only reason why, is you believe that those things are more important and that it's not an option for you to prioritize what you set out to do. And that's a deeper root issue. Again, I'd love to work with you and with some coaching. You can schedule some time with me. Hop on the phone for 15 minutes. We can talk about this. You can schedule more time to coach with me, where we can go over what are the root causes of these issues. Oftentimes this points back to, it's a framework of living your life that affects every other area of your life. If you took a bird's eye view of your life and looked at the patterns of things. And so when we can start to dive deep and look at, okay, what is causing this? Why is this repeatedly happening for me? And what can I do to start to prioritize the things that I want to do, that I need to do, over just helping other people? Listen, you're going to help serve so many more people when you stop putting yourself on the back burner, when you start prioritizing those things for yourself. By the way, this is actually how you serve other people. Building a business is about serving other people and bringing value to the marketplace. And the only way you're going to do that is by having yourself filled up when you start. You can't help serve other people when you're burnt out and empty because you're spending so much time just serving others. You need to find ways to fill yourself up. Maybe do some fun things, some hobbies. Spend some time in prayer and worship, and spend some time with God asking Him to fill you up. Spend some time focusing on, okay, what is important to me? Think about, if you didn't have anything to do in your life, you had all the money in the world, what would you spend your time doing? Pick one of those things that you know that you can do this week, this weekend, and do it. Not the one that you wish you could do when you have enough money, when you have enough time. That's the same pattern, my friends, right there. The one that you can do right now. If you had a list, could be writing a book, could be going to see a movie. For me, it's usually playing video games. It's just that little thing, if I know I got everything accomplished, I'll play video games and play my piano more often. It's just a way to wind down, or watch a movie, spend time with my wife. Take some time to care for yourself and fill yourself up. And from the overflow of that, then execute on your priorities. Make it important enough that nothing can get in the way of you staying consistent every single day with the decisions, the choices, and the actions that you set out to make for yourself, by taking ownership of those choices and not allowing any outside influence or circumstance dictate them for you. And when you do this with consistency every single day, you will develop a pattern of success in your life. You will develop a track record of success that you will see things start to be knocked off your list. Instead of wondering which one of the 5 you should do, you're going to finish all 5 of those things in an order that works best for you, that's the fastest for you to execute all 5. And then you're going to say, now that I did all those, what do I really want to do next? What's number 6? When you do this in your life, in your business, that's when the profits start to come in. But it starts with step 1. What is your step 1 today? What are you committing to execute on this week? Head on over to the hashtag Grow Your Life community on Facebook and let me know, what is that thing that you're committing to executing on now, right now? And then stay consistent with it. Start to post some of the things that you're doing, that you're building. I want to hear from you. I want to work with you. I want to help you take this to the next level. And if you're stuck, still spinning in the wheels in your head, wondering, okay, what's the next step? What should I do? I'd love to coach with you. I'd love to work with you on this. If you want to win a 30-minute coaching session with me, you can head on over to my Instagram. Leave hashtag Grow Your Life on my Instagram. I pick one winner every single week to win a 30-minute coaching session. Or we could do 15 minutes just to go over your goals by you heading on over to my website and scheduling a time together to do that. I believe in you. I know that you can accomplish big things in your life. Nothing is impossible for you. Grow your life, everybody, and we'll talk soon.